All right, we are just at the top of the hour. So hello, everyone. I am so happy that you were able to make it today to our online Masters in Management program information session. Since it is just now 12 o'clock, we will go ahead and dive right in. So a little bit about our agenda today. We will be doing a quick introduction about your presenters, and then we will do a deep dive into our program format. After that, we will be going over our curriculum highlights, and then we will give you a little bit about our online student resources. So all the resources that we have available for you as an online student at Brown. After that, we will be going over our application checklist. So that way you have everything you need to submit your application and be confident in your application. And at the end, we will be doing a live Q&A. So if you have any questions during this webinar, feel free to submit those into the Q&A tool that's at the bottom of your screen, it should be. And we will be able to answer all, if not most of those at the very end. So a little bit about your presenters today. My name is Chloe Adams. I am one of our admissions and program coordinators here at Brown University School of Professional Studies. And I work with students mainly after you have submitted your application. So after your application is all set and done and submitted, then you get to hear from me and I'll be working with you from there. Now I'll pass it to Amanda to introduce yourself as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Whitaker. I am the program specialist for online graduate programs at the School of Professional Studies. I provide operational and administrative support to our portfolio of online programs. Our admissions team representative or graduate recruitment coordinator is out of the office today, so I'm stepping in her place. And glad that you all could make it this afternoon.
Great. Thank you, Amanda. And now I'll pass it over to Dr. Prasad.
Hi, I'm Baba Prasad. I'm a professor of the practice of leadership and strategy at SPS. Primarily, I'm also right now serving as the interim coordinator, director of this program. And I came here after teaching in various business schools. I got my PhD at the Wharton School and then taught at Purdue and University of Minnesota and then the University of North Carolina, quite a few schools. But I also teach internationally, quite a few schools in India where I go to do visiting professorships. My focus is primarily on flexibility of organizations. How do you develop resilience and agility in organizations when, especially when there's so much turbulence in the atmosphere today, not just from business turbulence, but also all kinds of political and economic kind of turbulence that's there. So how do you organize people and strategy to do this, to handle this turbulence? So I come from a very technical background initially. So my specialization is quite a lot in technology strategy. My background has been AI robotics quite before all the furor about AI started recently. And at Wharton too, I looked at strategy and technology that banks were bringing in, retail banks. So all these play into my role here as director of the program. But primarily, one thing that I would like to stress here is that we've been designing this program to be much more playing to Brown's strengths. So it's going to be very different in the way we organize this whole program. But I'll talk a little bit about that later when we come to the curriculum.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We are so lucky to have you on here. All right, so a little bit about our program format for our online Masters in Management. So this program is 100% online. It is conducted asynchronously. However, it does follow a traditional 14-week semester format. So you will have deadlines, due dates. You will have that all together due dates and deadlines, but it will be asynchronous. There are optional 3-day in-person session as well, so you will have a chance to come on campus if you would like to. Tuition is going to be $7,500 per course, and that is 8 total courses. So 2 courses per semester for 4 consecutive semesters, and that'll be 16 total months. We do offer up to 15% merit-based scholarships as well, and those are first come, first served, and they are not guaranteed, but we do offer them whenever the committee reviews your application. They will also review you for that scholarship. So that is, you are automatically put in the running for those scholarships, but again, they are first come, first serve. So a little bit about the curriculum highlights, and I will go ahead and pass it on to Baba to talk a little bit about why management, why Brown, and why this program. Baba?
Yeah. Thank you, Chloe. Well, as you know, as Chloe was saying, we have 8 courses spread over 4 semesters. And one of the key things that we were trying to think about when we were doing this, when we were structuring this program, was to think about, what should we offer somebody who's just coming out of college and thinking about a position in the industry. So either, one of the requirements, as you know, is that we require less than 5 years. It's a requirement that you not have more than 5 years of experience. Okay, and the reason for that is that we have been catering this. We have been tailoring this program in some ways to meet that liberal arts kind of background, which is very rooted in Brown's philosophy. So that's why this program has something unique to offer to other management degrees. So piggybacking on what you've done in college or what you've done recently in your first year or second year of work experience, we take that forward and build a whole management curriculum around that. And it gives you really a leg up because it's playing up on your strengths that you've learned and then building you toward what you should be doing in the industry. Okay, so there are various aspects that are traditional within management. So for instance, financial and marketing management are traditional tools, but there are also emerging topics like business and data analytics. And when we integrate these different kinds of skills into this program, it makes it a very robust program. But one of the key things that we try to emphasize in this is the whole human-centered aspect. Okay, so leadership is a singular pillar in this program. Leadership skills which are rooted in human-centered principles, and we're finding more and more. And in fact, if you're up on any kind of research in business schools, you will find that companies that are doing more in terms of human-centered values are the ones that last longer and the ones that make more profit. So social entrepreneurship that's the reason why social entrepreneurship has become such a big hit nowadays in terms of entrepreneurship. So we have a special program for entrepreneurship, but all through these special course on entrepreneurship, but all through these courses, we'll be running that common thread of human-centric values, right? How do we think about business from a human perspective? And so what can you do with such a degree? Well, you can go into consulting initiatives, strategy and consulting initiatives, join consulting companies, or you can go into data analysis and business insights, which is becoming a big thing now because a lot of data is available, right from grocery store data to user data to social media data. How do you analyze that data? So you can there's a big career that you can build there. You can go into operations management, which is traditional in organizations, but it's taking on different tasks, and you need to be prepared for all kinds of flexibilities there because operations are not so easily predictable now. There's so many supply chain issues that come in, so many manufacturing changes that we see. So how do you oversee a constantly changing project? Okay, then of course the sexy marketing stuff that you can do, right? Marketing and brand strategy, where you're in front of people, shaping the company's image, shaping public relations. So these are, various things that you can do with this degree. So this is, the thrust of the why you need to be in this program and what you can do with this degree. Okay. Next slide, Chloe. So I'd like to take a minute to talk about the standard course sequence. As we said earlier, Chloe mentioned that we have 16 months in this program. And unlike a regular college where we take a break for the summer, we actually go through the summer. You could be doing 2 courses in the summer too. So it's a seamless 16 months. And it takes you through all the foundations that you need for management, but also introduces all kinds of emerging topics into these foundational courses. So we start off in the first semester with what are called foundational courses. These are basically helping you think about what management is, what leadership is, and then bringing in ethics and professional integrity into the picture there. So these 2 courses prepare you to think about the big picture, but also think about it in a very grounded way. Okay. Then we go on to some of the nitty-gritties of management. So financial management and operations. And these will be a kind of a, hands-on numbers kind of courses, and which is why we require you to have 1 semester of some math course in college. And then we move on to marketing and business analytics. So these two are tied together. So a lot of marketing decisions today are made on the basis of business analytics, and these feed into each other. So marketing and business analytics are both changing in ways that we hadn't anticipated before, and those become very important. So, for instance, how does social media become a part of marketing management? So, how do you make social media marketing? How do you do that? And those kinds of things come in here. And business analytics, of course, as I said before, a lot of data is coming into organizations from various sources today, right from how customers, swipe their products at the grocery counter to social media data that's coming in from all sides, all kinds of sources. So how do you make sense of that? So market business analytics and decision making actually helps in integrating those two. And finally, in the last semester, which is, I think, the most exciting semester because I will be teaching the course on strategic management, we will talk about, how we've been doing strategy all these days, and how that thing that needs to be changing, and how in that change we're actually coming back to a very humanistic model where we think about intelligence as being a way to drive adaptability. So we'll do a full gamut of the strategic models in that strategic management course. And similarly, in innovation and entrepreneurship, what will happen is it's like a capstone in some ways, where you can actually think about how you can apply all these things to, if you were interested in becoming an entrepreneur. Okay, all the courses that you've learned so far, the last six courses that you've learned, how would you take that into an entrepreneurship kind of ideology? And when we say innovation and entrepreneurship, it's not necessary that you actually become an entrepreneur because you're taking this course. It's not only for those people who want to be entrepreneurs. In fact, if you will look around, those of you who have worked even a couple of years in the organizations will realize that every company now wants entrepreneurial thinking. Okay, how would you actually think about doing the same stuff in different ways? How would you actually start off a new project in the organization? So this is where this thinking, you build that thinking. The innovation and entrepreneurship helps you build that thinking. So with that, we close the 8 courses, the last semester. That's the 4 semesters breakup. And as I said, we are constantly leaning into Brown's values here, which is very much the liberal arts kind of values. So we're bringing those into the courses. So when we do case discussions, for instance, we will be bringing in a very different perspective from regular business schools. And that's one of our key strengths here. Okay. Thanks. So Chloe can go on.
Perfect. Thank you so much for going over our curriculum. So I'm going to pass it to Amanda now to go over a little bit of our online student highlights as well as our application checklist. Amanda? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Thank you. To go over some of the questions that we get asked about what it's like to be an online student at Brown. So your courses are accessible from anywhere through Canvas, our learning management system. Like Chloe mentioned, it is asynchronous, but there are weekly deadlines, but you will be able to access all of the course material through Canvas. There's that optional weekly synchronous session. So each course will have an hour session, usually in the evening on a weeknight, where it's not a lecture, you're not learning new material, but it is an opportunity to engage with the material that you've learned that week, and then also get some face-to-face time with the faculty members and your classmates. Those are optional though, and they are recorded for folks that are unable to attend. A question that we get a lot is regarding what is the diploma and what is your degree going to say when you graduate? The degree awarded will be a master's in management degree, and it will not indicate online anywhere on the transcript or your actual degree. We also get a lot of questions about if online students are able to attend commencement on campus, and the answer is yes. Of course, all online graduates are invited to attend the commencement ceremony in Providence in May and walk with the rest of our residential master's graduates. But we do also offer a virtual ceremony once a year for folks who aren't able to attend. Online students do have full access to all of Brown's resources, including the library, student career services, and student accessibility services. There's a writing center offers virtual appointments. There is a center for students who speak English as a second language if they need any additional help there, that's also able to offer virtual services. We also give all admitted students access to our Foundations and Resource Center, which provides a lot of information. It's kind of what we think about as our asynchronous orientation to help students prepare for online graduate study. And then lastly, you get a dedicated support team. Chloe and some of our other colleagues on the graduate recruitment team are here to guide you through the application process. Once admitted into the program, you will have an academic advisor. Her name is Brittany, and she will be there as your point of contact throughout the program from the time you start classes until you graduate.
Perfect. And now let's go over our application checklist, and I'll pass it back to you, Amanda.
Thank you. Yes. To apply to the program, you will need a completed bachelor's degree or have to have completed your bachelor's degree before you would start classes. So if you are in your last semester of undergrad, you can still apply. And this needs to be from a regionally accredited university. We will need your transcripts from every school that you have attended. So even if you didn't graduate from an institution, you still need to upload the transcripts. For the application part, you can just upload unofficial copies if you have those. If you're admitted, you would then need to submit official transcripts prior to starting the first semester. In addition to a bachelor's degree in those transcripts, if you're an international student, um, you went to you did your undergrad in a college that isn't the US, you will need to submit a transcript evaluation with your application. And we accept evaluations from Spantran, ECE, and WES. Um, you will also need to submit a resume or CV to outline your experience. If you are new or you haven't had any professional roles, that's totally okay. Just really highlight any sort of like leadership experiences that you had in the past. And we just kind of want to learn a little bit more about your non-academic background. You'll also need to submit 3 letters of recommendation. You will actually submit the contact information of these folks when you're filling out the application, and they will receive an email to submit their letter. One of these letters should be from a professional supervisor or manager if you're currently employed. But you can submit a mix of academic and professional or solely academic references if you haven't had a job yet. And then also there is a prerequisite for this program because there are some more like data heavy classes. So we're looking for at least one level of college math or statistics. This can be any type of math class that you took in college. And we're looking to see hopefully a grade of B or better and that the class was completed within the last 5 years. Um, there are some leeway regarding this, so if you have questions, this is a good thing to talk to your graduate recruitment coordinator about, and they can help guide you there. And lastly, you're required to submit a personal statement. So this is just going to really describe why you're interested in the Master's in Management program, and then what are your goals, and how do you see this program helping you achieve those goals? And that's going to be, I think, under 1,500 words, and the prompt is in the application. And then the spring application is currently open. And it looks like we have the early action deadline on there, but the priority deadline is going to be September 15th, and the final deadline is October 4th or October 15th. And then the fall 2026 application will be opening on September 15th. So if you're interested in starting next fall, the application opens next month. There is a $100 application fee, but it will be waived automatically since you attended this webinar. And then here's just a note about the transcript evaluation again. And also, if you attended a university that wasn't taught in English, you will need to submit TOEFL or IELTS scores. And again, if you have questions about this, you can talk to your graduate recruitment coordinator. Again, some deadlines. Like I said, we are coming up quickly to that priority deadline for spring, we really encourage you to submit your application early. The earlier, the better. You'll probably get a decision sooner. You'll know about scholarships sooner, and then that gives you plenty of time to make, a financial plan and get set to start studying in January. And then if you aren't ready yet, we understand the fall application will open in September, and then you can see the deadlines outlined there for the semester that's going to start in a little over a year.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Amanda. And I'll leave this up for just a second. If you want to take a screenshot or take a picture of it, you are absolutely welcome to. But we will go ahead and get started with our live Q&A. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and submit those in the little Q&A box at the bottom, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. We do have one question, so we will go ahead and answer that one. A student says, I understand this program is designed for those with less than 5 years of experience. If someone has 7 or 8 years of experience, but believes this degree would be highly beneficial and someone I want to pursue, is pursuing it still an option? And could this affect our chances of acceptance? Amanda, I'm going to pass this one over to you.
Thanks, Chloe. This program really is designed for early career professionals. We have seen some people apply that are maybe like at that 6 to 7 years of experience, maybe some of their experience is part-time. Um, we're trying to keep it to the early career professionals because we don't want people that like aren't going to benefit from this program to attend because we just don't want you to waste your time and your money. But this is one of those things that I encourage you to talk to your graduate recruitment coordinator about. Chloe threw a link in the chat to make an appointment directly with her. And she can kind of talk you through your case and learn a little bit more about you. And maybe this is a situation where you could apply, but I really encourage to talk about your specific situation with her.
Great. Thank you, Amanda. Another student says, I used a different email to apply from this one, and is the fee still waived? If you just send us an email at onlinemasters_admissions@brown.edu, I'll put it in the chat again. Just send us an email and we'll be able to get that waived for you. Can recommenders submit their recommendation after the priority deadline?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely recommend whenever you add in your recommenders to your application, shoot them an email, shoot them a text, just saying, hey, I have you as a recommender for a graduate degree. And if you could, whenever you find that email in your inbox, get it back to Brown as soon as you can. That way it's not held up a little bit. We do see that sometimes the biggest holdup on you receiving your decision is just waiting for those recommendations to come in. So definitely contact them and have them fill that out as soon as they can. We have another question of how many people are admitted to the program, what scholarships are available, and what's our expected cohort size. Amanda?
Yeah, so we're estimating that we'll probably have a class size of around 25 for this first cohort. There's not a limit really on how many people can be admitted. We evaluate all applications holistically, so there isn't anything that's more heavily weighted. We're looking at your undergraduate GPA, we're looking at your letters of recommendation, your personal statement, and all of that is being evaluated when looking at your application. In terms of scholarships, this is assessed on a rubric. So there isn't, once again, a limit on the number of scholarships available. If you meet the requirements for the scholarship, you will be awarded one. Again, this is assessed on undergraduate GPA, and on the quality of your personal statement and the quality of your recommendations.
Great, thank you. Another question is, are there other School of Professional Studies programs that are more appropriate for more experienced professionals? Yes, we do have an online master's in organizational leadership, and the minimum years of experience, I believe, is 5 years. Amanda, can you speak on that a little bit more?
For the organizational leadership, yeah, it's 3 years or more experience. We also do have an executive MBA program that we run with IE Business School in Spain. And then we do have a Master's of Technology Leadership and Healthcare Leadership. If you're in either of those areas, those programs aren't fully online, but they're kind of like executive programs where the majority of coursework is done online. And then you come to Providence for about a week, I think 3 times a year. Um, if you go to professional.brown.edu, you can see all of the programs that SPS offers and make appointments with the relevant admissions folks to talk through them.
Great. Another question is there an interview process at all in the application process? No, not at this time. Not at this time. Our next question is, would you be able to say how those working at Brown currently would be able to utilize the EEP for this degree?
That is a great question. We are actually in the process of scheduling a webinar with HR that's going to be held sometime in mid-September, so before the final deadline, that is going to outline for Brown employees specifically how they can use their benefits in this program. So either shoot us an email to that email address that Chloe shared, or wait, and then Today at Brown in the next few weeks, you should see an advertisement for that webinar.
Great. Another question is, does this program look at financial aid, and is it important to fill out FAFSA? Amanda?
If you are interested in using federal financial aid to pay for the program, yes, you will need to fill out a FAFSA. We do not look at your FAFSA when awarding scholarships.
Perfect. Another question is, will students in this program have access to campus? The student is asking because they are local to Brown and would love the chance to be able to use campus spaces. Yes, absolutely. I believe so. We would love to have you on campus. Amanda, you are local to campus, so I'm sure you can speak a little bit more on this.
Yes, all Brown Online Master students are welcome to campus. You can come get a student ID and you can use the library, gym, all of the services that an on-campus student would. So yeah, you're definitely welcome. And we have a few students in our other online programs who are local to the area who come to campus. So
Perfect. We do have a student that's wanting us to speak a little bit more about the math prereq, especially for students who are worried that their math grades weren't the best. Baba or Amanda, would you like to take this one?
Well, I think I don't remember the grade we were talking about for here, but one of the reasons we included that math course is that in some of the courses, like in marketing or in marketing, especially when you're doing data analysis, or in finance or in operations, you need some of that math, basic level statistics, or we're not asking for advanced math here, but one math course in a college level math course. Amanda, can you tell us what the grade requirement is for that?
yeah, so we are like looking for a B or better ideally, but again, it's not necessarily going to make or break your application. If you have experience working with like quantitative things like statistics or data analysis in a job that you might have, you can highlight that in your resume. Additionally, we have some folks who take a statistics or other math class on something like Coursera or Sophia Learning, and are able to submit that with their application if it's either been a while or you think you need to kind of like improve your application a bit.
Perfect. I am not seeing any more questions come in, but if you do think of any, please send them over. And if you don't have any at the moment, but afterwards, if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email, and I'm sending that again in the chat. So you have it right there, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you have and find that answer for you. But I do definitely recommend that you make an appointment with your graduate recruitment coordinator. They are going to be able to help you fill out that application, make sure that you have everything all set and ready to go, and just make sure that your application is looking to the best of to the best quality that it can be before you apply. If you have any questions, again, email us at onlinemasters_admissions@brown.edu, and you'll either hear from me or your graduate recruitment coordinator. Thank you all for attending this webinar today. I am so happy that you were able to take a little bit of time out of your day to learn a little bit more about this program. But I will see you all hopefully at the next webinar and hopefully in our spring 2026 cohort. But thank you all for being here. Bye.
Thank you.